breakfast, that's 20 goons. And the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation, ain't got.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. They've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come in on a good run. Winners of 5 of their last 7. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's see what you got. Hey, check 24.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down. All right, let's look at the offense. Devontae Freeman, this is a guy that you wanted to talk about, so take it away.
Brandon, have you seen a running back play with such joy as well as such fury? I love the way he runs the football and attacks defenses.
On 2nd down, it's Freeman, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and then getting real close to the 1st down.
Ready, break. Look at me. Score.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's a give to Lindsay running right. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, McCaffrey. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Safarian Jenkins has it. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 15-yard line.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the 2nd time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3 and
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard.
It's 2nd and inches at their 49-yard line.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. 16 yards, a first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Switch. Ready.
A give running right, Lindsey. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That good for 22 and a first down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Well, sometimes a tough game to figure out. One play he looks so good, and then the next play so bad, going backwards.
Yeah, in a span of 2 plays, you go from hero to GOAT, right, to use one of the cliches. But I think what often happens is you have a big run, and sometimes you try and do too much with your next one.
Now a give right side. It's Lindsey. He's to the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So it's 3rd and goal, and now the question, can this Falcon defense stand tall? And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Christian McCaffrey in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 30. So we have come to halftime. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation, let him sneak his way across, coming back underneath, put it in his hands, let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And this is going to be back-to-back tackles for a loss here as the Falcons' defense yet again drops him behind the line.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the 2nd half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 41-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now a carry for Lindsey. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now back to throw. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Yeah, they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground field goal range. long-range punt, go for it, but as you said, they picked it up. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Christian McCaffrey with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Gets it off to Freeman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now it's Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
Hello, partner. Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Got it. 55. Check 55. Mike. You better bring it. You better bring it.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check, 47. 3 bud. Check, 37.
From the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw again is Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Here's Ryan. Complete to Jones. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
You can't block me.
Throwing again. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So the ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a give, right side. Lindsey, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
On the set. Look at me. Score.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So